Just when the world was in the palm of my hand, in the snap of a finger, all the feeling in the world was gone. I'm Mike Nichols, and this is my story. I might only be 25, but I've already lived 2 lives. And on April 28th, when my first life started, and I was born on April 28th. Healthy baby, very cute, if I must say. And it was very quick that I was a very active, carefree baby running around all over the place. And it was very quickly that I learned that my life, I'm going to live for joy and happiness and just be happy. And growing up playing all different sports, it was funny because I was always the shortest one on my team. And playing all different sports, I had to gravitate towards one. And the one sport that I gravitated to, go to the next slide please, was ice hockey. Ice hockey being the most physical sport, is the perfect sport for the smallest kid on every team to play. And of course, ice hockey being so physical, I would get knocked down a lot. But my favorite part about hockey was getting back up, looking the other kid in his face, and knowing that I'm going to get back and knock him down. And when I got into high school, next slide please, I was still that short, carefree, happy, jokester kid, and things never really changed for me. When I started playing hockey in high school, after tryouts, my coach told me, you know, I'm a little bit worried about the physicality for you because you're just a big guy out here. Mind you, my freshman year I was 4'11", 95 pounds. So after the first game of the season, I didn't play because I was only supposed to play a few varsity games that year, mostly JV. The next year, hopefully when I grow, big quotation marks around hopefully, you'll be able to play varsity. Well, second game of the year, called me up to play varsity. Puts me out there for the first shift, for my first shift. And I knew what to do because I've done it every time. Someone's told me that I was too small or I wasn't good enough. I looked at the other team and I found the biggest guy on the ice. And I went and I knocked him on his ass. That was the last varsity game that I ever missed. And it never changed for me. I was always being told I was too small, that I couldn't do it. And as I went through high school, I never really grew that much. But by my senior year, if you go to the next slide, please, I was ready to step onto the next phase of my life, which was college. And I was looking forward to everything that the world was waiting for me. And just as the world was in my hands, in the snap of a neck, I couldn't squeeze my dad's palm. On January 4th of 2014, I broke my neck playing ice hockey, leaving me paralyzed from the neck down initially. I broke my C5 vertebrae. Not only did I break my C5 vertebrae, but I also got yeast infection. I suffered a stroke, and I flatlined. Thankfully, the doctors were able to bring me back. But worst off, I couldn't breathe on my own. If you could go to the next slide, please. I had a tube attached to my neck, and a big cart rolling around with me everywhere I went. It was the hardest time of my life. Having to adjust to so many things, having to learn how to live a new life, not being able to move anything, having a stroke and not being able to move your right arm. Doctors telling you, you may never move your right arm again because we don't know if you're going to regain movement of your right arm. Speaking of learning to live a new life, with the spinal cord injury comes along a loss of autonomic functions. You want to try to knock this 17-year-old kid down? Here's how to do it. Tell him he no longer has temperature function. He's probably going to be cold all the time. By the way, his favorite sport is ice hockey. No longer has bowel and bladder function. That means he might poop on himself every now and then. And he no longer has sexual function. Doc, what? Nah, Doc, don't do this to me, Doc. Doc, we got it. It was like I had to kind of roll some money across the table. So we got to work around this. Thankfully we did. But that could have knocked me down, and neither could have knocked me down when I went and started doing rehab 3 hours a day. And they said, what kind of wheelchair do you want to sit in? I said, I want to be in a manual wheelchair. I want to push myself. They said, you have one arm that can barely move, and the other arm doesn't. You're probably going to have to drive a wheelchair using your mouth, using a sippy pump. And my response was, no, I'm not. I'm going to at least drive a automated wheelchair with my hand. I was able to work my way up to that. While I was able to work my way up to that, I was able to get rid of the vent, and I was able to breathe on my own. No, I wasn't out of the woods yet. I still had the trach in my neck. So I wasn't able to cough up any lungs, cough up any mucus that was sitting in my lungs, which is greatly dangerous for a person like myself. We're very, commonly getting pneumonia and other immune disease, autoimmune disease, I'm sorry. Now, after 5 months and a day, I came home and went to prom, and if you go to the next slide, please, I graduated high school. Once I graduated high school, I figured what's next is to get stronger, get better, and work towards my goals. What were my goals? Like I said, use that manual wheelchair 1, go back to college 2, and start raising awareness for spinal cord injury. And I did all 3 of those. Doing amazing charity events, such as a charity golf outing every summer, a charity hockey game with retired NHL alumni, radio stars from WFAN, and if you go to the next slide, please, doing the New York City Marathon. Something that not many people think someone who can't use their legs can do. Well, I did, with a little bit of help of a good friend of mine, Joe Rudy. This life wouldn't be possible without a team around me. I need a team of people helping me all day, every day. Whether it be family, friends, co-workers. This wouldn't be possible by myself. And throughout all of this, I've never stopped working. I've continued to work hard each and every day. And I was able, go to the next slide, please, to get that manual wheelchair after 7 years. But life's a marathon, right? So I figured, why not stop there? Go to the next slide, please. My first time pushing myself, trying to push myself as far as I can, and in 3/4 of a mile, at 1.2 miles an hour. And it was very, very hard. If you go to the next slide, please. I was able to work myself up to doing a podcast. Yeah, me. The kid who couldn't move his right arm after he had a stroke is now able to push himself over 3.1 miles around the neighborhood with hills and a street that is definitely not flat. Doing all this and raising awareness for spinal cord injury has opened my eyes and realized that, this second life that I live for dedication to spread awareness for spinal cord injury. I live for passion and being the underdog. And most importantly, helping people. People similar to the situation of my own. That's why I dream mine is a world without wheelchairs. And yeah, I know that seems like a dream, but I'm sure it was a dream to Neil Armstrong when they said he couldn't land on the moon. If you could go to the next slide, please. I don't know if the video can play, but I was told that I wouldn't be on my own. I was told that I wouldn't move my right arm. I was told so many things that I've accomplished. So who knows what the next thing that I'm going to accomplish is. And at this point, I'm not proving anyone wrong. I'm just proving myself right. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk.